No, sand. We sent him sand. Well, Cassidy is Sean's family now because he wanted to go to the beach. Letter took so long to get there, it turned to dust. Stop making me cry, game. Why don't we get to see Sean's life? I want to see that he's happy. You can't stop me from crying. I mean, I'm not crying. It just sounds like I'm crying because I'm emotional, but I'm definitely not crying on stream. That would be embarrassing. They're only small tears. Let me live. Hey, listen, I'm pretty sure, maybe, I actually cannot remember. I'm pretty sure, though, this is the first time I have teared up this whole movie. I mean, movie, game, it's not a movie. So I think that's pretty good, considering all the terribleness that happened. Don't make me come over and hug you. I keep calling it a movie. I don't know, we spend so much time sitting here and watching things happen. It almost feels like a movie. Is this the good ending? Did we get a good ending? I wonder what other endings there are in this game. Let's find out. Let's see. Oh, so okay, so these are the options you can have for an ending. You decide to force the roadblock and Daniel accepted. Daniel refused. Surrender to the police and Daniel accepted. Surrender to the police and Daniel refused. Okay. Wow. Apparently there's 7? 6.5. I'm so confused. Overall, you taught Daniel to do his best to follow the rules of society. Yeah. Overall, you taught Daniel to put himself and his brother first. You know what? I am very glad that that second point was something we got across, because that was a big deal to me. Was making sure that Daniel was still a good person, even though we sometimes did things that were moderately questionable. You did the treasure hunt and found the hidden treasure. A souvenir. You did the treasure hunt but didn't finish the quest. Who wouldn't finish the quest? Who refused to do the treasure hunt? Good gravy, those 6%. You overall got closer to Karen. I'm not gonna keep my distance. You wrote a caring note to Karen. You wrote a consolating note. You wrote a lukewarm note. What a great way to describe things. A lukewarm note. You said farewell to Arthur and Stanley, and then I realized I didn't have to keep saying goodbye to everybody, and I was like, let's just go. I don't know why I'm saying goodbye to these people who... The only time that we saw Arthur and Stanley was where they were every time. They were always sitting at that table drinking coffee. And then I was like, wait, we don't have to say goodbye to these people who we made no connections with because we had 5 seconds of screen time with them. There's no depth. There was so little depth. You have to say farewell to them. It's like half the episode running time, right? That's exactly why we didn't. It's too boring. Hey, most of us hugged Karen. You interviewed to calm Diego down in the cells. Yeah. You freed the Mexican couple. Of course. What is this 35% that didn't, you sociopaths? You didn't ask Daniel to free the vigilantes. Of course I didn't. They didn't deserve to be freed. You asked Daniel... Of course. I'm not going to tell him to hurt people. Good gravy. You didn't ask Daniel to kill the officers to escape. Of course I didn't. What's 16% of sociopaths? Daniel was told off about the Scorpio and stopped messing with it. Yeah. Aw, and he did stop messing with it. That's so good. I'm so glad we're not part of that other percentage. Daniel managed to set up Joan's sculpture with your help. Oh, which one? Like he wanted without your help. Oh, who did the sculpture without our help? What the heck? Daniel was concerned about hurting Officer Campbell. I'm glad. Look at us teaching him to be a good person. Oh, and then here we're talking about Daniel stuff, and Daniel wasn't asked to free the vigilantes because I'm not a sociopath. Daniel didn't have to lash out at the vigilantes. Why would he? Oh, I see, because we didn't ask him to. Daniel knocked out the officers. Aw, dang it, Daniel locked up the officers in a closet, but that would have been our stuff we wouldn't have had. And, yeah, that wouldn't have been good. So I'm glad we didn't lock him in the closet because that's our stuff. Daniel wasn't asked to kill the officers. Of course he wasn't, because I'm not a sociopath. Someone out there didn't say goodbye, didn't find the treasure, and didn't build the sculpture. Their episode must have been short. No kidding. Oh, goodness. So I think overall, I mean, obviously I like the game. Discover more games around Life is Strange by going to the Buy More page. I think overall I liked the game. It was interesting. I like these kinds of games, I guess. I felt like my choices mattered a little bit less. No, that's not true. I liked the way that they did it, I guess. I like the change. I like how it wasn't the same game over and over, where what we were doing and the choices we made in that moment directly reflected the next moment. Sometimes they did, obviously, but then they added a new spin on how, like, the choices we made had an effect on how Daniel perceived the world and, you know, made future decisions. So I thought that was super neat, that because we can only control what we do, and so we don't actually get to control what Daniel does. So some of the things that Daniel does are based on choices we made, and I thought that part was actually kind of cool. The writing could have used a bit of... No, okay, yes. So, yeah, I love the mechanics. The mechanics of the game are what I like the most. The change wasn't interesting. But, yeah, no, I 100% agree. We could have had even a smidgen more of subtlety to this game. I feel like it was just so much. I mean, obviously, I know that there are those kinds of people, but... why is it that, with the exception, I think, of one person out of all the strangers, okay, no, yeah, even the nice strangers that we did meet in Humboldt,